Hi folks, how are you doing? This is sjsrana. Surinderjit Singh Rana reporting for November 24th, time about 6:30 a.m., which is 0630 hours IST India Standard Time. So, well, here a lot of topics here. We have G20 meeting, then we have world events where we have seen escalation of Ukraine-Russia war non-stopping, but the peace deal being worked out by Trump administration. Apart from that, we are seeing increased activities on attack on journalism or journalist or press freedom, uh, and sex trafficking, prostitution, empire expansion in the world, which is plaguing the humanity much more. So we're going to cover all these topics and much more social events and social causes. So just in brief, I have some of these clippings and sharings and just the events which are going across the world globe and on my personal arena as well. So continue, stay on post, and I'll update most of these recent topics and three IATLS, Swan R2, which are leaving the perihelion now and will be seeing the close encounter. And sometime by December, we'll come to know exactly whether the three Atlas possesses the alien technology we have all been fearing about or been worried and anxious about. So 3 Atlas still remains to be buzzing across the world, and astronomical community are all observing 3 Atlas and Swan R2 very closely, as this has really become the event of century, if not event of the whole humanity to see and close witness, with all the instruments, scientific instruments, satellites, data, and everything being collected right now. So much more I'm going to cover now, so you stay tuned while I move forward with the topics. So G20 meeting, we're going to first focus, which happened in South Africa, was mostly joined by almost all the G20 leadership nations, except Trump. Trump did not join it, which is representing the U.S. for obvious reasons that Trump has been instrumental in bringing the tariffs, the global tariffs, with the U.S. on equal footing. And being on equal footing and demanding equal rights for the US, Trump has seen that G20 will basically propose or oppose or do some declaration against the US or perhaps Trump leadership. So this was envisaged by Trump already, and he skipped the meeting altogether. Apart from that, we see Trump is already working on a peace deal, negotiating a peace deal, Ukraine-Russia war, and we'll see if it comes out to a fruition. But obviously, it's a big endeavor, and we'll see how it pans out. However, in G20 historic meeting in Africa, we see the initiative being taken for economic growth, globalization, as well as development of human rights index, human development index, and Africa especially wants to have more and more funding and World Bank to issue some of the core projects like water dispersal, and sanitation, and also working for sustainable housing or sustainable living projects like solar, green energy revolutions, reduction of CO2 emission. Apart from that, they have taken a big call on reduction of drug trafficking, drug peddling, and drug producing nations will be targeted by G20. They have unanimously agreed and counter-terrorism activities, and obviously what is going in Gaza, Hamas, Israel, that has become the limelight for the terrorism activities and how they're going to subside or counter terrorism, whether it's at Middle East or it's in Africa, Nigeria. Also, Christian persecution has been sidelined for now, but Christian persecution in Africa is also making a big inroads, and they are discussing how they are going to mitigate the persecution of ethnic minorities or religious freedom press index. All these topics have been discussed, and they have not released the final press release, but it will be coming in short time. They'll have a G20 press release of what they have developed for humanity and economic development, economic progress, and trade deals and whatnot. All will be covered. So, anyways, folks, moving on the topic of Trump, as Trump has skipped the G20 meeting for obvious reason on the term tariff, and the tariff war has already begun for past 4 months since he took the office, and it's already ongoing. A lot of nations like India, which are still not joining, are still adhering to the BRICS principle, and they are opposing Trump's tariff administration, Trump tariff deals, and that has already been main contention between the U.S. and India for almost 4 or 5 months now. So we'll see how it pans out. But for now, Trump has already claimed again and again, reiterated that Trump has been instrumental in stopping the war between the Pakistan and India. As you are aware, in 2025, around May, with my prediction of hashtag MAY 2025 India and time, which I predicted in June, July 2024, the war between India and Pakistan escalated in a big time. Those both two neighboring nations are nuclear powered nation. They have nuclear warheads almost to around 200 to 300 nuclear warheads each. So Pakistan possesses almost around 280 to 300 nuclear warheads, while India possesses almost around 240 250 nuclear warheads as declared per the convention. However, Trump made a big statement all together that the war was escalating to the nuclear escalation level. However, Trump proposed a ceasefire and made a ceasefire. Pakistan has openly admitted that Trump was instrumental, and Pakistan leadership has thanked Trump administration for brokering a peace deal and bringing the negotiations on table, while belligerent India, arrogant India, is always in state of denial. Okay, another call, another thing which I've been discussing for a long time, almost about a year, that I'm making international investors. I'm making the call for international investors to trash and dump India currency, rupees, and markets for many reasons. I'm going to entail all these reasons in brief, but if you can go past my year and a half YouTube release, you can always work on why I've been insisting to trash India currency and markets, and to be better off investing in other emerging markets than India. Not to name few, but this is just the brief gist and list. But there are many more reasons that it's valid. It's most imperative to trash India currency and markets. First and foremost, let me come down to the basics and the core that India, on the principle of democratic values or democracy, has been being totally being uh, opposite of the democratic principles which are working foundations for a democratic nation. And this has been very obvious right now, where we have seen close alignment of India with Russia, China, North Korea, basically importing Russia oil. India has been belligerent despite many sanctions. India leadership has totally in a state of denial, and they have rebuked many times these international sanctions been put by Western nations, specifically the US, Canada, EU, UK. So, because it wants to basically cut off a deal or cut out a deal wherever it's cheap, it doesn't care whether that nation or whether that deal is anti-humanity or not, whether it's supporting the warmongering or war machine. It doesn't care. For that belligerent and arrogant nature of India, many Western nations, specifically the US, the UK, EU, has specifically mentioned and triggered India many times that it's basically working against the principle of humanity. If it's supporting the war, if it's supporting the war machine of Russia or Putin, basically, then it's supporting anti-humanity stance. Obviously, we are aware that India is a genocidal nation. It's a known past. India has the largest amount of communal violence past 80 years since independence, 1947 of India. India is known for hate crime. Largest hate crime, hate criminal nation is India. Marital rape nation, 0-0 Olympics gold medal nation is India. India is the only nation that produces maximum number of babies, perhaps mostly in the marital rape, because marital rapes are being promoted in India culture. It's the cultural values of India. Everywhere you'll find India government and India stooges will be promoting the marital rape. Whenever the issue of marital rapes come into the Supreme Court of India or law, Constitution of India, India government, India Union is the first one to oppose marital rapes laws. So many more. So for all those reasons, obviously, the trashing of India currency is imperative. Genocidal India, anti-humanity stance in India, and anti-democratic values principles being followed by India is condemned by the whole leadership of the world. Trump administration has made several attempts to approach the India leadership to become more democratic, to become more aligned to humanity, and leave the concept of genocide or hate mongering or racism, fascism, which is quite obvious in India. So, despite India having the largest population of 1.7 billion, they still cannot come to a conclusion of being getting the accreditation for international human rights. So if you see, India is not a member or accredited. India human rights are not accredited for International Human Rights Convention, which is UNHRC. And other reasons are that they have a lot of other issues which are social causes which are plaguing the humanity as well. While the corruption is known all across India, India has the largest number of corrupt company practice and corrupt government officials, and also for the red. So this red tapeism in India and the corrupt bureaucracy is quite obvious to the whole world community. That's the reason why international investors are very spooky when investing in India. Even though India promises high GDP growth, but the international investors are worried and wary about how they're obtaining the GDP growth. Is it based on sex trafficking, prostitution, door-to-door prostitution? Is it based on drug peddling, drug-producing nation? Trump administration has recently named India in amongst the 23 countries which are drug-producing, drug-transit nation. India is named under the illicit drug-producing nation. So all these things which India is doing for the world under a democracy mask divinity of M.K. Gandhi is not conducive for democratic principles and values. And that's the reason why the world community has made a call to be very cautious in investing in India. And mostly they are trying to discourage international investors to leave India emerging markets alone, isolated, as they cannot leave behind the concept, the mindset of genocide. Genocidal India still contains the hate crimes against Christianity, against other ethnic minorities. So, for obvious reasons, international community, international investors are very spooky about India. India is amongst the 23 nations, which are including India, China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, as major drug transit hubs, major drug producing nation, Make in India brand, which is producing illicit drugs for the world community. which is under Make India brand and Make India initiative by India leadership past 7 8 years. So many more reasons. I've given details of these reasons in my past videos. You can always infer and conclude. However, right now international investors will continue trashing India market, and I predicted already a year ago that India currency will fall to 90 rupees US to a US dollar by end of 2025. So India currency will fall to 90 rupees to a US dollar by the end of 2025. That was my prediction a year ago, and end times have already been predicted in June July 2024 under hashtag MAY 2025 end times. So we'll see much more. India, whether it's pseudo government or shadow government, is supporting or it's basically promoting the fake call centers sprouting in India. India has been under the global scanner of FBI, of CIA, and specifically the Canada has been operating. The undercover officials have been operating in India as well to uncover, unmask these fake call centers. You know what they do is the group of or team of or gang of like MS-13 gang of people will basically form a gang, a close group, where they're going to do counterfeit currency production and also basically duping the US and the Canadian and the Western nations citizens with making international calls, fake calls, fabricated calls, posing them as IRS or CRA officers or government officials, and threatening them that they are under arrest if they don't deposit money to their accounts. You know, they have subsidiaries accounts in the US, in the Canada, and people, the gang, the MS-13 type gangsters, fraudsters, scammers of India will basically pound upon the US innocent citizens, senior citizens mostly are targeted from India, and they will ask them, demand them to deposit the money into their accounts, or else they'll face basically jail time or imprisonment, posing themselves as IRS officers, CRA officers, and much more. So, despite international call for India to curb, to put end to this menace, India so far till 2025 end has shown little progress in curbing out or in basically ending the pandemic of these fake scammers, fake call centers in India, and you can call them as, you know, basically stealing money or money laundering happening under the disguise of call centers, fake call centers, and these people are in a big and huge group. Obviously, there could be other targets where shadow government of India could be supporting them internally, covertly, so that they can attack their adversaries, like making some tariff deals or not making a tariff deal or some other political issues. And much more has been uncovered right now. I'll also discuss the topic of how the major fundamentalist or fanatic organization RSS, you know, under the name of RSS from India, a political right wing, has been supporting the anti-humanity agendas worldwide, basically covering up. So recently, there has been uptick in the lobbying of the U.S. senators and the U.S. House members by India shadow government. You know, this outfit, which is a fanatical right-wing outfit supporting the ruling party BJP, current ruling party of India, known as RSS. It's a shadow government type thing which is working behind the scenes covertly, but they have a largest clan of people, organized people, working for RSS, and it's an outfit known as a Hindu right-wing outfit, which basically proclaims to have to claim that the National Party, Fundamentalist Party, which will be working for making India as a Hindu nation. So this all has been going behind the scenes, where lobbying of the US senators or UK or EU has been funded. This Hindu right wing outfit RSS, which is lobbying the US currently and for past 5 7 years, has been known to also be an anti Christian or anti Christ fundamental opinion or views. And this has basically activated all other human rights activists across the globe as to how come, how far this RSS outfit, which is the Hindu right wing or radical outfit, having the largest clan clout in India, is working for hate mongering or hate supporting the hate criminals, hate crimes against humanity. So we'll see how this pans out, and does the world leadership recognizes the RSS Hindu right wing fanatical uh, wing, which is a political wing, also known as shadow government. Will they recognize this as something which is not conducive for human? Okay, shifting the gears, I'm sharing some of my personal clippings and some of my personal insights so that you're aware around my vicinity surroundings and you are not falling prey to the India imposters, impersonator gangs, or you can call fake call center or fake people who are belligerent on sabotaging the identity of sjsrana, the original personality, as you can see over here on screenshot. I've been sharing my personal insights so that you can avoid these imposters, impersonators, these thugs, these scammers of India, which have a largest clan and largest group working around my residence ever since I've been reporting since 2010 on humanity, on human causes. So I'm sharing this some of the personal glimpses. As you can see, this is my car camera, car cam, which is recording one of my sightings and one of my pathway towards my residence, which is basically here in Galaxy Enclave, Jaipur, India. So this real estate has been there for almost 7-8 years, working on building good buildings and good infrastructure. And I'm residing here since 2022. 2022, I purchased this villa, as you can see over here. I purchased this villa in 2022, and I paid in full in one shot. And ever since I'm residing here peacefully, enjoying good time here because at the time when I arrived in 2022 over here and purchased this villa, there were not many families here, perhaps one or two, three families, and that's all. But right now, since 2025 over here, per my prediction, it has been all fulfilled, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. It's been all full. It's running full house and having a lot of parties, day and night, marriage ceremonies, because it holds some of key infrastructure which is good for marriages. So anyway, folks, my sightings, as I'm giving you all my close-ups and sightings here, so that impersonators, thugs, scammers, fraudsters, which are around my residence since 2023. I've been telling you all around that I don't participate. I'm not part of any clan, any metaphor raping games or metaphor games around my residence. I don't participate. I'm not part of them. I'm single man, single person alone here, but I don't form any association or I don't work with any association around my residence or neighborhood or vicinity. If these people around my residence vicinity have been claiming something else, then you're falling prey to scammers or something else. Perhaps they have some other clan or some other mindset association. I'm not part of it. I just report to humanity. I just report for you, working for the good causes here. And my part here is to enlighten, to uplift humanity so that they can understand what's lying ahead. I keep giving my predictions as since 2010. You can always visit my One World Press site, which is oneworldpress.wordpress.com. I'm facing some issues with my other site, which I started promoting for last 2 years, which is oneworldpress.org. I'm facing some issues with that site because uh, I was not able to re-register it, or to extend the domain registration. For some reason, I am not able to get the clear idea from the site, from the domain owners. That's why I'm not getting the site back. I did miss my payment for onewordpress.org because I was busy in other activities, so I could not get that much time. But when I start to get my site back, onewordpress.org, I could not, and I'm still trying to figure out, and I'm working with authorities to get it back. As to be sure, I've not given any digital rights to anyone. I own the digital rights for onewordpress.wordpress.com and my YouTube channel sjsrana. So just so that you are clear and don't fall prey to the India scammers, that I have not given any digital rights for anything which I own. So, just that you are aware, when you compare India and the cities, major cities in India, the city of Jaipur, which is in the state of Rajasthan in India, is known for having the largest rapes, largest amount of sexual harassment, hijacking of females or terrorizing females for raping, for molesting them, for sexual favors. Jaipur city of Rajasthan, which is capital of Rajasthan, is known for abusing minor girls. It has the largest number of cases of dowry harassment, which is basically demanding money from married females. After they get married, they torture the females and demand money, basically in form of car, cash, or house property. So females are supposed to deliver, married females are supposed to deliver house, car, registering their name when they get married, which is known as the dowry system in India, which is basically crime. It's a federal crime for dowry, and it has been there. But in Jaipur city of India has the largest number of dowry cases, rape cases, molesting, hijacking females, targeting females, working in a close group like MS-13 to hijack females, to terrorize them, to rape them, to gang rape them. Jaipur city of India is very popular for the highest crime rates it has, and it promises a lot of fraudsters, lot of scammers, which are dwelling in Jaipur, which are huge in number. Be aware, folks. So just to give you the recent glimpse, and it has been going on for last 10 years. Jaipur city is in limelight in India as the crime capital, or a crime capital of India, if not world. And a lot of people form very good close association immediately, where they try to scam people. Specifically, they're targeting the US citizens, innocents. Mostly US citizens are being targeted from Jaipur, city of Jaipur, which is the crime capital of India. So, talking of crime in Jaipur, which is known as the crime capital of India, also it's the capital of state of Rajasthan, where people in huge numbers, largest hate criminals reside in Jaipur, which are hate mongering people, which have hate crimes against humanity or innocents, and specifically the ethnic minorities. That's why they have a minority commission in state of Rajasthan to protect the rights of ethnical minority people, specifically Christian faith people, Sikh faith people, and Muslim faith people, which is minority commission of Rajasthan. Also under the Minority Commission of India. So recently, talking of the hate crimes, I have recently shared this video. It's public video, that there was this guy, a resident around my neighborhood. For no good reason, he basically attacked me. He threatened me. He attempted to murder me on November 10th, 2025, time about 5 p.m. IST India Standard Time, which is about 1700 hours IST India Standard Time. So I've already shared in detail, in length, and investigation has been going on for almost 12 days now. And I don't know what the cops are doing, but obviously they're under influence, some sort of pressure, some sort of corruptions can be ruled out, because since the FIR, this report, this complaint was filed on November 11th at the police station, says police station, which is here in Jaipur. I have not received any updates, any follow-ups, and so I'm basically waiting on the action the cops, local police station will take over here on my complaint. You can see on ViewGraph, I've shared this on my YouTube video release, sjsrana number 13 sightings, and I've given you this details, and I'm still waiting for the investigation to complete from the police department and to do the needful action so that I'm not attacked in future. And on this complaint of mine, which was reported to the local police station, says PS police station here in Kalwara in Jaipur's vicinity, state capital of Rajasthan, Jaipur. I have not received any updates from official updates from the police department on my complaint on attempt to murder attack on me and trespassing into my house. I'm waiting for them, and obviously there's no negotiation. I have not done any negotiation. I am not involved in any negotiation. I have not been given any apologies formally, officially in written from the accused, from the party that attacked me, the person that launched an attack, personal attack on me and trespass into my house. So trespassing is a big problem I'm facing since 2022. I arrived here in Galaxy Enclave, Jaipur, India. I've been reporting all along that my house is being trespassed by many people. Which when I'm not here, when I'm not around, people trespass into my house covertly, overtly. They trespass onto my rooftop as well. So as you can see, I'm sharing this clippings and my theme here that international investors continue trashing genocidal India currency rupees markets for following. And obviously, the largest hate criminal nation, India, also known as genocidal nation, India, which basically oppresses, represses, suppresses ethnic minorities, Sikh faith people, Christian faith people, and also Muslim faith people in India, have been known to the whole world. And that's why international investors should be very cautious while investing in India, because anytime they can have communal violence, communal riots, hate mongering, hate criminals, which can get activated. They are under working with the largest political clout, and the ruling party is always complicit in supporting them. For these causes, the hate crimes in India is rising. Scammers, imposters, impersonators, thugs in India are rising, and they are being supported by shadow government. So, folks, I keep covering all the topics which are important for the world. And as you can see, my oneworldpress.wordpress.com site, as you can see over here, I also had oneworldpress.org, the organization which I was having this domain for almost 2 years. But for past 3-4 months, for onewordpress.org, I'm facing issues. I'm not able to renew it because I missed the renewal date, and I could not renew it again. I don't know what has gone wrong with it. I'm pursuing the matter with onewordpress.org domain people. So I want to get back that domain. Just to be sure, sjsrana, which you can see me on the screen, sjsrana, Surinderjit Singh Rana, I have not given any digital rights to anyone on my site, on my reports, on my work, on my uh, journalism, or my sites, which is onewordpress.org and onewordpress.wordpress.com, and the
Hi
channel
folks, how are you
SJS
doing? This
Rana
is
on
SJS
YouTube,
Rana,
or
Surinderjit
Twitter,
Singh Rana
which
reporting
is
for
SJS Rana 1 at SJS Rana 1
November
on
14th.
x.com. So I've not
Time is
given
about
any digital rights to
5 a.m.,
anyone. Just to be sure, if
which is
somebody is
500
claiming,
hours
then
IST
they are
India
part
Standard
of
Time.
India, hate
So,
criminal, hate
a lot of
mongering,
topic
and
I'm gonna
largest
cover and
organized
touch
criminals
base
of
with my
India,
last
which
video,
is known as
and a lot
the
of other
scammers, fraudsters,
events
largest
going
organized
across the
crime
globe.
of India. They could be
So
part of that
already
MS-13
a
type
lot of
gangsters of
topics
India.
have been covered in
So,
past
okay,
video,
folks,
but
over here
I'm going to
I'll
cover some
end
of the
this
events which
brief
are
session,
predicted
and
and
I'll
it's
leave you some
ongoing.
of my old
And
clippings,
obviously
which I've
3i
shared in
Atlas
my
and so on
sightings for
R2
November 13th YouTube
is
video
going to
release
do a
and November
goodbye to
10th
us.
YouTube
So
video
the
release. I'll share
extraterrestrial
that some of
visitor
the
will be
old
doing a
clippings which
goodbye
will entail
for
now,
now.
and I'll
And
leave you here.
the impact, the information they have given is immense. And still we are pondering as to what 3i Atlas and Son R2 has done after my prediction of hashtag MAY 2025 END end times. As you know, I keep predicting all the time events ahead for humanity so they can upgrade themselves and they can align themselves and be in sync with the cosmic powers. So, a lot of events that's going around. I'm going to cover briefly and touch base with my last event which has occurred on me on November 10th, which is like trespassing into my house and attempt to murder me or to sort of pin me down by some person which I've already given detail from my neighborhood, and I was totally startled with the aggression, with the sort of violence against me for no good reason. So, anyways, folks, a lot of events I'm going to cover here briefly, which I'm going to start with is the shutdown. So finally, after almost over 40 days, we have the reopening of the U.S. government, and the shutdown is basically over now. The president of the U.S., has also signed the bill, and the House has voted for opening of the US government, which will benefit a lot of other people who are relying on government funding, government checks, and the day to day service from the government. So this has been the longest shutdown in the history of the US, which is quite surprising. Obviously, we are aware there is obviously ongoing tussle with Democrats and Republicans, and mostly Democrats are seen over here targeting Trump. So this whole event, this whole drama, this whole rigmarole is going to target the Trump. They have been doing a lot of allegations. They have been doing a lot of past what we call the hoaxes running around for Trump, and basically uh, they want to pin down Trump for the reason of he's being open, he's being running the Safe America, Make Safe America Again, and a lot of other events which are beneficial for the U.S. citizens. But however, Democrats have some or the other excuse to run a hoax or to run some sort of entanglement so that they can keep pinning down the president. And this has become obviously a major role and major event now because the longest shutdown is in the history. And I already predicted this. If you can see on my X profile, I predicted on November 6th, time about 2:47 a.m. IST, India Standard Time. So that'll be November 5th in the US. So I already predicted on November 5th in the US time that the US government will open by around November 14th. So we'll see post November 14th the government will open, the US government, the shutdown will open. That was my prediction on November 6th India Standard Time, time about 2:47 a.m. as you can see on your view graph. And rightly so, on November 13th, basically November 13th India Standard Time, which is around November 14th, the US government opens. And there was a signing of order from Trump, the president of the US, and the House and the Senate voted for opening of the government. So, which is a good deal, and the citizens of the US are celebrating right now at the moment. And obviously, this is going to open up all the portals, various portals which the government runs for the US citizen benefits, services, and various kinds of other things which are quite important. Funding has to be given, educational funding, a lot of other fundings are important. The government has to function to run the nation properly. So this news is being celebrated all across, and obviously not even the US, but the other nations relying upon the US, the bilateral ties as well as the business, the trade deals, the tariffs, everything is based on that. Obviously, the soft target was Trump as usual, and witch hunting is obviously going across US for Trump, and because Trump is making a tough stand on tariff and is making equal playing field for the US for the benefit of the US citizens, so many of the Democrats, the fellow Democrats, are not happy with the way Trump is dealing with the tariffs and trying to put the nations on equal footing with the US. So specifically right now we also see the India with the US relationship sour for almost 6-7 months on tariff, as India was adamant, arrogant India was always adamant on the tariff with the US because Trump saw what nobody saw. Biden could not see what how the India was ripping the U.S. With imposing a lot of excessive tax on, or tariffs you can call, on the import of the U.S. goods. So Trump saw it, and Trump wanted to make equal playing field for China, for India, for Indonesia, for all other nations which are heavily taxing the US. So, on that accord, now India is falling in line and they are pleading the US to do a trade deal now after a lot of resentment and a lot of protest and a lot of, you can say, arrogance from India. I am not sure why India becomes so arrogant and why they try to make a fool of other nations as if like they are Olympic champions. I don't know. India probably is always in the dilemma that they are the Olympic champions, they are the gold medalists, so they can do whatever they want with other nations, which is a wrong uh, precedent. And the arrogance of India has to be broken down. The ego of India must be broken down, and now they are going down to the US, to the pressure of the Trump. Basically, it's the leadership of Trump which has made India come on equal playing field. India already has almost $141 billion of business trade deals with the US, and they expect almost around a jump of $300 billion by 2030.
So on that accord, India knows how much of benefit the US gives to the India, and it provides a lot of outsourcing, a lot of jobs, a lot of H-1B visa is providing to India. India is a major beneficiary with the US deals, trade deals, and the arrogance of India, while not making the tariff deal with the US, was totally condemned by all other leaderships of the world. While the Japan made the deal, the EU made the deal, Germany, France, everybody made the deal, but India was not. It was because it was following the BRICS pattern. As you know, India is a member of BRIC, and BRIC is already trying covertly to undermine the US dollar or to replace the US dollar, the de facto currency of the world. So India is playing a key role in BRICS to undermine the US dollar. That is why it was threatening US with their own tariff. India has a very high tariff against the import of the US goods, while the US is doing a minimal tariff on import of India goods to the US. That is where there is no equal playing field, and basically India is ripping off the US citizens, if you call it on layman words. And that is what Trump saw. Trump saw all other nations in line. They are ripping off heavily. China was also there, Indonesia, Malaysia, Korea, all those other nations, EU even also was not spared by Trump. So now with the Trump magic wand, and the India bows down to the Trump, and it's making already negotiations every day almost. Modi and Mr. Trump is on phone call almost every day on this tariff deal, because India is scared that if US puts high sanction on India. So arrogance of India, they are now afraid that if the US puts high tariff on India, then India will have no business, they will have no jobs, they will become jobless, because a lot of people from India are relying on US jobs. So US provides a lot of benefits to India, which India has to understand closely, and should not try to resent, and should not try to all the time become anti-US. That's not the right way of India. Because of the BRICS and the supporting of the Putin war machine, India has always been against the US for now so long. But now there is a change I see, and as I predict that India has to bow down to the US if it wants the US jobs, if it wants outsourcing, if it wants the business to grow with the US, because US is providing them a lot of money. So anyway, folks, another thing is that I have this new car, which I told you I gave away my old car. I sold my old car and got my new car. So there is some lacuna in the official working of transfer of the this car, which is now I own this car actually practically with my deals and agreement, but I still need the official transfer of the car. While I have the agreement, so it belongs to me, but because I paid in full the money and everything else which entails. However, they are working with the officials are working with the official transfer, which has taken almost 40 days now, which is very surprising. Normally, a simple car transfer would not take more than 20 days, 25 days, at the most 30 days. But this has taken 40 days, and it has surprised everyone. And this basically exposes the working of the RT office, or the officials, how they work, how they become lethargic, how they become sort of very slow in doing a simple process. So anyways, folks, I'm quite busy with all other things, as if because a lot of things renovation is going with my house, with my residence here. As you can see, I'm sharing some view graphs. So I'm having new tiles laid on my top floor terrace rooftop, so that there can be no seepage, no other things which are coming onto my residence, as well as it's impacting my neighborhood residents. And this was long pending from the office of over here, the real estate where I reside. This is known as Galaxy Enclave, popularly known as Galaxy Enclave Urban Village, and I purchased this villa in 2022. I arrived very early, and a lot of people followed me afterwards. And 6-7 months after me, a lot of other people who was around my residence, around my vicinity. But before I arrived here, it was almost only one or two families which was residing here. So anyway, folks, 3i Atlas, I keep shining the lights, talking with the speed of the light. So, shifting the gear, shifting the topic on the other reported event on November 10th, attempt to murder, trespass, and to threaten me or to pin me down by some of this resident who is in the neighborhood. And I've already taken this matter seriously. Even though this is second attempt on this guy who you can see on the screenshot attempting to threaten me, to basically pin me down, or to some sort of some sort of pressure on me for no good reason, just because I reside here peacefully. I have no idea why this guy has become violent towards me or has a lot of aggression towards me. I have no idea. So for that matter, on November 10th, attempt to kill and trespass into my house, Residence Villa 77. I reported to the cops. Matter was very serious, and I did not get any apologies formally from the guy who was violent, who was aggressive, who trespassed into my house, and also from their family members. So I had no other recourse. I was compelled to make the police complaint, and as you can see over here, this is the message I received from the local police station, which is known as the SEZ police station, because this is SEZ, Mahindra SEZ, it's known as the Mahindra SEZ zone. So I received the official SMS messages from them, and thereafter I pursued the matter with the authorities, with the local police station, and I reported them all the damages, all the damages done to my doorbell earlier on September 5th by the same guy. His name is Akshay Agarwal, and on the same accord, he damaged as you can see, the back side of my car with his foot. He was kicking on my car on November 10th, time about 5 p.m. So all this incident was quite aggressive, quite violent on me. So I had to visit the police station, as you can see, on November 11th in morning time about 11:30 a.m. I visited the police station. This is the outside look of the police station, and I had to file the official complaint because after waiting 18 hours from 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m. where the incident took place, since and the next morning, November 11th, I did not receive any apology or any reconciliation from the family members which are in my neighborhood, or you can call the parents of Akshay Agarwal, which is he's a retired Colonel Raj Agarwal, and his wife Suchita Agarwal, which is the mother of Akshay Agarwal. So I was left with no other recourse, and nobody else in the neighborhood was taking the responsibility that this guy Akshay Agarwal will not again attack on me, will not become belligerent, will not trespass into my house, and will not threaten my life, and will not break the peace accord over here. Nobody was taking responsibility. I talked with the Galaxy people, with the real estate people, and with other neighborhood. Nobody was ready to willing to take the responsibility that he will not in future attack me. So on November 13th, you can see on my CCTV time about you can say about 4 p.m., which is 1600 hours IST Indian Standard Time, which is November 13th. As you can see, I was talking with the police cops and the people and the officials, and as you can see, they called me outside that let's talk about the event, what happened, so they can investigate further. So the investigation team is here. As you can see, the cops and the police car is here, and they wanted to see what is going around and why, how much of damage he has done, and why he was doing such threatening things, and what threatening calls he made, and what sort of trespassing he did. So the investigation team is here. I was thankful to them, despite they were under a lot of pressure. There were a lot of other events they were busy in, but they really came after my call that please try to resolve this matter, because I'm living here all by myself, and explaining to them I'm living here since 2022 all by myself, and I do feel threatened by this guy because this is the second attempt. First attempt on September 5th, he broke my front doorbell, as you can see over here. Then he also banged on my door. He threatened me. He was blocking my main gate entrance and again threatening me at that time, using abusive words as well, while I asked him only that not to stand or block my main gate entrance. And this was the broken doorbell. I want to give you what kind of things are going around over here, what kind of people I have to deal with, and what are their nature, or how they basically interact with me, and what sort of mindset they have against me. It is definitely a hate crime. If you call it in pure words, it's a hate crime, hate mongering against a single personality, which is sjsrana, original personality, Surinderjit Singh Rana. Obviously, other reasons are there, that because of grand larceny, now they want to hide it, they want to somehow obscure it, that no, this personality sjsrana, Surinderjit Singh Rana, doesn't exist, we don't know. And because the things are getting exposed now, so obviously there has to be the threatening and all other events going along. So this is no new news to me, but obviously just to give you the